Wait, oh my gosh, hold on. Good, well, technically morning. We actually have a new severe thunderstorm warning. I hope my mic is loud enough. I can't talk too loud though right now. We have a live view in Muncie. However, our severe thunderstorm warning, it does include Delaware County, but it does not include the immediate city of Muncie. So, and I believe this is a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning, but it includes the northwestern part of Delaware County. So maybe some areas on the far outskirts of Muncie. But Yorktown, you're basically in this. Gaston, Royerton, um, Eaton, not to be confused with Eaton, Ohio. Eaton, Ohio, you are just fine. This is Eaton, Indiana, and Delaware County. I'm gonna try to get some more cities on here because it doesn't always show on here what cities are impacted or like the all the cities. So also Anthony, Stockport, Wheeling, not to be confused with Wheeling, Ohio or West Virginia. Scheidler, Granville, Kamek, and then also for parts of Madison County, which really isn't part of the viewing area, but we'll go over this anyways because, this is digital. Anybody could watch. But Alexandria, or what in the world? Orestes, Moonville, Chesterfield, Summitville, and Rigdon. So again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, but this is actually a little worse than your regular severe thunderstorm warning. This is a considerable level severe thunderstorm warning. So if this means considerably damaging winds ranging from 70 mile per hour to 79 miles per hour is possible. Not in this case. It's the second one. So large hail ranging from 1 3/4 of an inch hail to 1 there's a typo in there. 1.5 to 1 3/4 inch hail. So I'm gonna have to go back and change that eventually. But at this point, conditions are kind of getting into that realm to where they're too dangerous to remain in mobile homes. So if you are in a mobile home, we're gonna go to our tornado and severe weather safety. You need to get out of mobile homes. Now, in this case, if you're indoors and away from windows, you're going to be fine as long as you're in a site built home, not in a car, not in a mobile home, not under an overpass. But that's kind of the deal we're dealing with. Looking up right here, that is a live camera looking at a Ball State University camera. We're going to take that full for just a second. Actually, no, we can go back to the double box, but yeah, we're gonna go back to the double box. I'm just gonna send this stream out to some places I know where people will actually pay attention. I know the camera. Wait, are we still on live view full? No, but we are. Yeah, I know it. The live camera's kind of glitching out right now, but just give me a second. Oh, great. The post is pending. That's just great. Um, Basically what I'm doing is trying to send this out to some Facebook groups. Okay, hey Muncie, that might, yeah. Yo, I think we did the best we can do when it comes to sending this out, but yeah, now we need to just kind of go back to our actual storm here. Let's make sure, yeah, no, we're gonna get off of that, get on to here. Let's see, is it coming back? There we go. All right, so we have our camera back, but we do have this severe thunderstorm warning that I see something I don't like. So again, this is a tornado possible and a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. If you live in a mobile home, I would say anywhere in Delaware County at this point, I want you to just go ahead and be out of there in case this does become a tornado warning and because of the dangerous hail that we're dealing with. And I can see why that they're so oh goodness, yeah, that's not good. Um, that's the radar in northern Indiana, but this is the Indianapolis radar, which will see this better. So what you're seeing is the wind directions. So down here is the radar. Um, this is winds moving away from the radar. This is winds moving towards the radar. So we have a rotation here. So this thing is spinning. It's not spinning enough to where they have decided to issue a tornado warning just yet. I think they might, depending on how this storm interacts. If it strengthens, if it weakens, they may not issue a tornado warning. And that's honestly what we'll hope for. But two things that I'm noticing that I do not like at all. So right here, this is what we call an outflow boundary. So there was storms and rain earlier today that has left an outflow boundary present right here. So this is the warmer, more unstable side. And it may have actually been this storm right here that produced it. I'll have to look back at the radar loop. But over here, this is the warm side. Over here, this is the cool and more stable side. But there's also a change in wind direction along the boundary, causing a lot of wind shears. So when a storm latches onto a boundary like this, it gets to spinning and it gets to strengthening because the inflow is supercharged. Inflow being right here. Um, so it's concerning. And then also, we have some storm interaction. This is going up here, and this might influence this outflow here. So we might actually get a tornado. Right now, it is just to the north of Alexandria. But I'm going to go ahead and advise to not travel along Interstate 69. I would say between Pendleton, Indiana, and I'd go all the way up to Gas City, Upland, like that exit up here. Reason being is because we also have hail, ping pong ball size hail. So I'm thinking of both that and the potential for maybe a tornado. But yeah, do not be driving along Interstate 69 or I-30 or not Highway 35 going through Muncie for now. I mean, if you have to make a quick stop before you get home, you have time to do that if you're in Muncie, like in the center of Muncie. But other than that, I would not recommend you drive over there. And I'm acting like there hasn't just been a catastrophic flood there, so you may not be able to travel. But if you're in a mobile home, anywhere is better than being in a mobile home in a situation like this. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, Connorsville has dealt with so much flooding, and that's another issue we have to deal with tonight. We have just the threat for flooding in areas that have already been severely flooded, and that thing's going to do it. Hold on. Wait, okay. Velocity on here actually looks weakened, so that might be a good sign more than anything, but trying to see where this outflow boundary came from. Right there, yeah, it just created kind of its own and latched onto it. Mm. And with that storm interaction, I don't know. I think there's a chance for some suspicious things to happen, but it is kind of more of a wait and see thing. We have to play the waiting game. We got to see what this thing's trying to do. Unfortunately, the terminal radar is down, but I don't even think it'd reach over here. So there's that for you. Looking at the northern Indiana radar, just to get a better view from different angles. So our northern Indiana radar is up here towards North Webster. So this is winds moving towards North Webster, winds moving away from North Webster. Get what I'm saying? Towards away, and now my arrows look like scribbles. But you get the point. It's rotating. We're going to go back to the Indianapolis radar. We're going to look a little higher up in the air. See, more up in the air, the rotation's getting stronger. So there's definitely rotation in this storm, without a doubt. But a lot of storms rotate that don't produce tornadoes, so we don't know if it's going to do it. Hence why there is no tornado warning. But this is a severe thunderstorm warning that has a considerable tag, meaning that, again, this is a considerable threat for damage. We have 1 3/4 inch of hail. So again, this is one of those situations to where you really don't want to be out driving in this, but you also want to be ready to take cover should a tornado warning be issued with this storm. Looking back, it's getting more of an inflow, which I'm a little bit concerned about. But what might be happening, and this would be a good thing if it was happening, but I don't think this is what's happening. It might be splitting, which if it splits, the northern mode has more of the hail risk and the southern mode has more of the tornado risk. Although if it were to split right here, the southern mode would not it would be such a small storm. Any immediate threat would be completely destroyed for a tornado. But this looks like inflow to me. Outflow. There's definitely something going on here. Now, is it close to actually producing a tornado? Probably not. What is that? Hold on. Okay, that for a second there I almost had a heart attack. Looking at the hydrometeor classification just to yeah, look. Looking towards Summitville, um hail just straight up. Oh, that's the hybrid. This is the regular uh giant hail. You see that? Yeah, we don't want to be playing with that now. So everybody in Muncie, you need to get ready for this. I know you've been through enough in the past few days. Really, the whole area has. I mean, we've had numerous tornadoes, one in Springfield, one in Champaign County, one in Columbus, and one in Mount Orab, probably a ton others, a ton of straight line wind damage, flooding in Athens, flooding in Perry County, flooding all over eastern Indiana. It's been a rough ride, but we're doing this again, but it's okay. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this and we're going to be okay. But if this is this is just another serious event. I mean, not the worst, but with the hail, we could be. Oh, that's nasty. Just to the south of Summitville, that's nasty. If you are on I-69 between Chesterfield and Fowlerton, you need to be off of the highway right now. You got some hail moving towards you. I don't want you anywhere near that. This is the type of hail that will crack and even break windshields. So you gotta be careful. This is, I believe it's ping pong ball sized hail, golf ball sized hail. So that's even worse. This is, yeah, again, hence considerable damage threat. Looking at our rotation, it actually looks like it might be dying now. And it might be becoming a solely straight line wind and hail threat. Well, we can go ahead. Let's see. That is getting an inflow, but then I think the inflow is starting to get just overthrown right now, I guess is a way to say it. We do got more storms to the north. And this is going to really, really amplify our flash flood threat as if it wasn't amplified enough. I mean, we legitimately had like kind of once every few years type of alerts issued, flash flood emergencies, and apparently like the worst flash flooding since like 19 something something. Again, a good portion of Connersville is essentially underwater right now. And this might flip Connersville. I'm doubting a direct hit because if we're looking here, it would be more towards. Oh my goodness, it's heading right towards Cambridge City. Dad burn it. That's not good. Hopefully, this thing can be weakened by the time it gets there, and there's a decent chance it will be. It may have, the storm might be behind that outflow boundary. That might be why the rotation ain't as good on it anymore. And again, that's why they didn't issue a tornado warning right away because you don't want to do that and then all of a sudden it weakens and then now everybody's questioning why on earth did we even issue that at the National Weather Service office. Here it's the Indianapolis office. But all the offices that serve the all of our areas is they do a good job and they really do make sure that it's a real threat before they issue the warning for said threat. And this is a real threat for this considerably damaging hail. Considerably damaging hail. That I think that's a good word for it. And it has the Again, a tornado is not impossible, and I see where rotation might be trying to get started once again. Yeah, so it's definitely not as defined, but it was near zero like a scan ago, and now it's starting to kind of show up again, and it could just straggle along the whole way and never actually do anything. So I don't want you thinking this is for sure going to do something, but it does have the capability. But that's away from Indianapolis. That's towards Indianapolis. So kind of right here. Very weak rotation, but it. Okay, hold on. I think it's also this storm interaction that we're dealing with, and that is, I believe this is side lobe contamination, which is just a very fancy term for the radar reading it wrong. That no, I think the rotation would be more like here. So it might be. We'll have to keep an eye on that part of like this little other storm coming into this storm. But yeah, we still got inflow, we still got the outflow. We got wind-driven hail, I think is that's pretty safe to assume. And we do definitely have light rotation. We can, yeah, let's go see what the upper levels look like. Yeah, up here at this level, the 1.8 degree tilt, this is where the rotation looks the strongest. But then again, higher up in the atmosphere. A lot of storms rotate, a lot of storms strongly rotate, but not a lot of storms actually produce tornadoes. I don't think this thing's anywhere close to doing that right now. But again, things can happen rather quickly. So that's why I decided to hop on, and really just because of the hail threat and the fact that this could add to the already catastrophic flash flooding that we've seen across eastern Indiana. Um, let's see, how's my stream doing? I'm just trying to see how many views I'm getting so far. If I'm getting live control room, there we go. Not doing terrible. But yeah, back to what we were doing before. Again, for rotation, I'm kind of looking towards the Alexandria area. Still not the most impressive on that end, but definitely impressive on the hail side of things. However, it looks like it might be getting the hail might be getting smaller because now it's going from giant hail to large hail on the hydrometeor classification. This is a good tool to use so really we usually use this to see if there's any tornado debris. And usually once you get to actually what you're looking at now here, this is a good sign of debris, but this is not in the correct area of the storm where there would be debris. And and again, if you're not trained, you would think this is all like a whole bunch of debris. No, this is just where the storm ends. But here, when you get large hail, like really large hail, sometimes the shape can be off, and that's what this detects. This detects the shape of what's up in the atmosphere. If it matches a sleet pellet, snowflake, like a hydrometeor, raindrop, or even a regular hailstone, it will show up more in this red shade. But when it's not that hydrometeor shape, it's going to show up more like here in this yellow shade. And the less it is shaped like a hydrometeor, the more down it goes on this scale that, or actually you can see up towards where it says correlation coefficient. That's what we're using. So the more to the right is the less it correlates with a hydrometeor shape. And sometimes hailstones can get spikes and can be just have weird shapes, and that's why it's coming up on there, especially when the hail gets real large. Now, if it was in this part of the storm down like south of Alexandria, we'd be a little more worried about that being tornado debris. But at this point, definitely not that concerned. Could that happen later on? Yeah, it's not impossible. But is it likely? Meh. But really, hail is the risk. And there is some like interesting looks. Oh no, that's not that need to be. I'm kind of more looking right here. So look at this. So this is some more inflow here, some outflow here, and this is actually out of the severe thunderstorm warning. This is to the immediate east of Muncie, actually really more the outer east side of Muncie. And looking at our, yeah, we do have a little bit of rotation. I think this is safe to say this is more likely to be weaker rotation than contamination on the radar. So again, our radar's down here in Muncie. This is moving, or not Muncie, Indianapolis. Indianapolis is here. Where it says KIND, um, where it says KIND, that is Indianapolis. Or that's the radar. My bad. This is actually nope, nope, no, 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 no. Away and then towards. So, and then you can see we have the counter clockwise motion here, and that shows that there's some rotation. Strong rotation, not really, but rotation nonetheless. And all that means is we just have to keep an eye on it and we'll be fine. Again, anybody in here, there's not a tornado going over your house. There might be a wall cloud that you would not be able to see because it is so shrouded in rain, just like just about every storm in our area, because Mother Nature doesn't like us. But um, yeah, the tornado wise, not too big of a threat right now. But we still have hail currently going over Interstate 69 right now, basically off just to the north of the exit to get on State Route 332. And this is actually going to be heading into Muncie very soon. I think it might actually just go through the south side of Muncie more than anything. So that might be good news for everybody near Royerton. I believe Ball State is Ball State. I think that is towards the south end. Is that? No, I might just be stupid right now. Um, I swear I remember it being in because I've been to Muncie numerous times. Which means I should know this off the top of my head, which usually I would, but it's also past midnight, so. And to say that the last few days were not overwhelming, I mean, I'd be such a liar. Pinocchio would look good. Um, is the east side, or it's kind of the south side. No, it's not the south side. It's just the east side. I'm stupid. My bad, y'all. So, Ball State could be dealing with some of the hail soon. So if you're at Ball State, if maybe classes have started, I don't know. I don't know every university's schedule. At this point, you just want to stay in the dorms. That's all. Or if you're out in a public building, just stay there for the time being. I hope your car's under a car park. We can see if the hail size is it's not shrinking. That's not good. But your safety's first. And if you have time to, you can get your car in a garage if you're in Muncie. That would probably be a wise idea. But yeah, that's if your house is not flooded. And I don't know where people are staying if their house is flooded. But again, wherever you are, if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning polygon or really just in Muncie at this point, you just want to be indoors, away from windows, and you'll be just fine. Again, this is not going to be some big bad tornado. Reason I say you need to be out of mobile homes is because there might be a tornado eventually. But I think any tornadoes that we deal with should be on the lower end. But again, well, I'll keep watching, and if that changes, I'll let you know. I think, yeah, the rotation is starting to pick up a little bit on the eastern area. So the part that's not even in a severe thunderstorm warning, just to the north of Selma. Now, fun fact about Selma, right through like the main street, kind of around here, I think this area right here, the east side of Selma, was really badly hit by an EF2 tornado back on March 14th, 2024. Now, again, this is not going to be like that. And let me make that 100% clear. You're not even in a tornado warning. There's just a severe thunder, a considerable severe. Sorry, I thought I heard some. A considerable severe thunderstorm warning, but just a severe thunderstorm warning to your west. But there is rotation going over you. So be ready to go to your safe place just in case. But I would be more concerned about places like Parker City, or not even that, maybe more south down the line. Let's see, how has this been moving? It's kind of been moving more just due east than anything. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, no big deal right now. Really, the big deal is the flooding, and that's really the whole reason I'm on here to begin with. We're going to go ahead and get rid of those arrows. Now, what I'm going to check, I'm actually going to check something real quick. Um, okay, not too much. So I'm looking at something called mesoscale analysis. I can't show it on here right now as I'd have to create a whole new window and stuff, and I feel like that would just waste more time. But I can tell you now, there is some conditions, I will say, that would support severe weather and maybe, big maybe, a tornado. But again, no certainty. Because, yeah, the winds are definitely backed, especially towards that one storm. Our temperature and dew points are nearly exactly the same. If we could, yeah, so it might, there's definitely potential, but it's very low end. And actually, I can literally just, actually, hold on. Okay, they actually just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. So, first, what we're going to do real quick is go over our overall risk. So, again, our outlook, we have a severe weather index of 2 out of 5 here for parts of southwestern Ohio, northern Kentucky, eastern Indiana. Our tornado risk, I think they just took away our tornado risk, but again, it's not zero, but that's hopeful. But going back to radar, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. And this is going to be for the southern, this is now the southern part of um, Delaware County and the northern part to central part of Henry County. So the cities involved this time, and after I say this, I'm definitely going to look and see if I can find any of these communities' Facebook group accounts to post this at, because I'm a shameless sellout. I just want them to be safe. But again, Yorktown, the central, we're just gonna say Muncie, just to avoid confusion. Muncie, Cohen, Middletown, not to be confused with Middletown, Ohio. You're good, at least for now. Sulphur Springs, Mount Summit, the north side of Newcastle, Cohen, Bluntsville. I already said Cohen, so my bad on that. New Burlington, Medford, Irvington, Middletown Park, Progress, Crossroads, Daleville, Honey Creek, Sulphur Springs, Rogersville, Summit Lake State Park. So anybody near Summit Lake, if you're on the lake, which I doubt it, but maybe you're fishing or something, it's time to get. It's time to go. Time to get back in. Oakville, Springport. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. We're back to a regular severe thunderstorm warning. So this is not, they're not saying tornado possible with this anymore, and they're not saying considerable. So that is good news. So what this means, a severe thunderstorm warning is meaning that you either have damaging winds or hail. Damaging winds ranging from 58 to 69 miles per hour. Any higher, and you're going to have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, which we don't have for this warning, but the other one we still do. But we also have large hail ranging from 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter. Again, any higher than that, and it is considerable. And we are close to that. Again, we are sitting at exactly 1.5-inch hail. There could be areas of a little bit larger. It's not impossible, but again, it's just something that you need to just keep an eye on and be indoors and away from windows. Maybe get the car under the awning or in the garage, and you'll be just fine. All right, but we are. Ooh, okay, so I'm starting to notice something. Hmm. Okay, this thing might be trying to get spinning again, but I'm gonna try to. I know that the live camera is not working when I do this, but just bear with me, be patient, and I promise I'll make this quick. But um, New Castle, Indiana. There we go. Is there not a Newcastle page? Search groups. New Castle, Indiana. Hold on. Events in Newcastle. It's a public group, so that's good. No. Hold on. Autocorrect is being stupid. There we go. And then I can just copy that whole thing and I'm going to send it to literally all of the groups. Again, we want to alert as many people as possible. And rather it means that it's my stream or they're watching the news or whatever they're on. I don't care. As long as they get good information and not and take everything seriously. Is this Newcastle, Indiana? That is not Indiana. Okay. I don't know if the last one was either. Oh my gosh, I went to a Newcastle UK page. Well, we might be having some UK viewers here soon. Free speech edition. Uh-oh. There's gonna be some crazy stuff said here. Not really. It's just showing events. Newcastle, Indiana. Oh, is this Newcastle, Indiana? So let's do that. And I want to make sure gets their heads up that they need. Oh, the citizens page. And it's a private group. That burn it. Yeah, I can only do so much with that, but there we go. No, 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 no. We're not tagging anybody. It's a public group. Enough people are going to know. Newcastle, Indiana. Concerned citizens. Well, there we go. Um, Waiting for approval. God burn it. That's what's going to keep me from being able to reach anybody right there. Okay, but now we're going to be looking back at this severe thunderstorm warning. We also have our live camera back on at Ball State University. I'm still noticing some rotation between Selma and Parker City. That's notable. Not crazy rotation, but um it's definitely trying. So just a heads up on that. Yeah, you got your clockwise rotation. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Um, Epilepsy warning if anybody's watching this that has epilepsy, but we're going to go ahead and take the live view full for a minute. Goodness. Look at that lightning. Oh my goodness. The lightning is starting to go crazy right now. Um, this is at the Innovation Center at Ball State University. I'm going to move this a little bit so we can see more into the sky. There we go. That's definitely better. So, yeah, you can see some of the lightning. It's just a kind of a torrential downpour there right now. What I'm gonna do now is what we're gonna do real quick, we're gonna go radar full. Yeah, let's go radar full just for a second while I maneuver this. I'm gonna see if let's go radar full. No, 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 no. Gotta get rid of this pencil tool. Yeah, there might be rotation that gets started here. I'm just keeping my eye on it. It's still primarily just a damaging wind and hail threat, but yeah, here we go. This is Ball State over here. Basically, what I'm trying to do is see if the hail is falling. Yeah, it's not going to be falling over Ball State. At this point, it's going to miss it to the south. I don't think we're going to be able to catch the hail for this. But we'll still have um, the double box up to show the overall thunderstorm. from the Ball State camera, but we do have yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this entire complex again. That's essentially what we've been doing this entire time. Here's an interesting report towards Summitville. Um, we had a hail report of 1.5 inches, so that would be ping pong ball sized hail. So that was an actual report. So this is verifying. So just a heads up, you don't want to take this too lightly, as this is definitely doing what it's saying it's going to do. Now, this one might be contamination. It's kind of giving that more contaminated look, but it might not be. So I'm just going to show this just in case. Again, counterclockwise rotation possible. Just to the south of State Route 67. We're going to replay this. I think this one might just be contamination, but we're going to keep our eye out. You don't, and looks like everything up here is starting to weaken, which would make sense if this does start to strengthen. So we have evidence for both sides of that argument. So again, what that means is we just keep watching. You're going to be hearing that a lot, and you're probably going to be getting tired of it, so I apologize in advance. But really, the worst hail is right on 400th Street towards State Route 67. I'm going to go ahead and take radar full real quick. Because I have a funny feeling about it. Here we go. Okay, so unfortunately there is no, which I honestly didn't think so, but there is no actual traffic cameras where this hail is. So we're gonna have to just do the best we can do here. We're gonna have to go off the radar, which I don't like doing. I do like to give y'all a view of what's going on because it just provides a sense of clarity. But yeah, as of now, we definitely hold on. There we go. We definitely do have some damaging hail. Looking at our wind directions. Uh, uh, Again, nothing just out of this world, but a little bit of differing wind directions. But again, I feel like this is probably a high base storm. Although it was on a boundary, it seems like this is more maybe a high base storm. And oh my goodness, no, 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 no. Okay, sorry about my moping. Um, but you'll understand why here in a second. We have a new flash flood warning. And this area has been through enough already, but yes, we do have a flash flood warning. This is going to be for the northeastern part of what's this county again? Madison County and then northern Delaware County. So this is going to be for the north side of Muncie and points to the north in Delaware County. So the entirety of northern Delaware County. But just to give you an idea, Roriton, Albany, Eaton, Gaston, those type of areas. Um, so Yeah, I know I don't like this either, but we do currently have that going for us. A flash flood warning for the north side of Muncie and points north in Delaware County. So, what does this mean? What does this mean, y'all? Well, a flash flood warning means rain gauges have indicated precipitation capable of flash flooding. Radar indicates precipitation capable of flash flooding. Satellite indicates precipitation or capable of flash flooding. Or, at worst, flash flooding may have already been reported. Okay. And for flash flood safety, you turn around, you don't drown when encountering flooded roadways. If you are stuck in floodwaters, call 911. If you live in a flood zone, consider evacuation. If the threat is considerable or catastrophic, you must evacuate to high grounds, especially if you're in a flood zone or on a river or stream. Now we're going to take it back here and we're going to focus on both our flash flood threat but also our severe thunderstorm threat. But what we can do, looking at the 1 hour precipitation, I can totally see why there was actually a flash flood warning issued. And this is just the 1 hour precipitation. We have up to 2 inches in 1 hour. Again, that's not good. That is very capable of being a flash flood and probably is. I wouldn't be surprised if some roads around here may be impassable soon due to this. Now, the 3 hour precipitation. Okay, so that, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, but we're gonna focus on the 1 hour because that's why this severe thunderstorm warning is issued. And again, precipitation meaning hail as well. That hail melts becomes floods. Get what I mean? But yeah, this is especially I would say they really need to issue a flash flood warning for the northeast side of Randolph County as well. Because we got at least an inch of rain. But look, I mean, look at this. 2 inches of rain in 1 hour. That's not good. So and it's even worse when you consider the fact that this area is already flooded. So that just means the already flooded places are going to be more flooded. The flooding's going to get worse. And I hate to say that, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that that's not what's happening. Yeah, still looks like primary risks is flash flooding, damaging winds, and some decent sized hail. Again, we'll continue watching for rotation, but that threat seems to be dying more and more as time goes on. I might do. We're gonna go ahead and look at this. So this is a forecast model. Right now is typically not the time you do this, but I'm also just kind of curious what it's gonna say. Interesting. Okay. Now, the rule I'm gonna do tonight is when a severe thunderstorm warning has expired, then I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Like I'm gonna call the stream until the next severe thunderstorm warning is issued. But because again, I can't do much about the flash flooding. I give you the instructions, and flash flooding lasts a while, so I would probably be on here for 12 hours plus. But here's another. We actually have more flash flood warnings in areas that have also just been affected. We have a flash flood warning for the the western half and a little bit of the eastern half of Vinton County and parts of northern Jackson County. So we can go ahead and look at yeah, not good. This is Charleston area, so and then we also have the flash flood warning for parts of Pike and Scioto counties and the southern part of Jackson County, going into Gallia County a little bit, just to the immediate west of Rio Grande. But we do have potentially rain that almost got to 2.5 inches in an hour span. So I think it was a good call that Wilmington decided to issue flash flood warnings. How? Okay, so not too long ago. But yeah, we do have flash flooding for. Hold on, we're gonna go back here and I'm gonna actually point out the communities that I'm the most concerned about. Hamden maybe soon, but really but look, in these hollers is where I'm really worried about. This is Appalachian through here. So like Richland maybe, but down here, I mean, to the immediate east of Oak Hill is where I'm honestly very concerned about because again, we're already dealing with flooding at Athens, flood, Perry County, flood, like Roseville, flood. Um, Basically almost all of East Indiana, flood. I mean, it's already a bad situation, and this could just make it worse, and it probably will, at least a little bit. Maybe not too much, maybe too much. This is kind of more of a wait and see thing. We don't really know, but we do have a flood watch in effect, so it is a good idea to pay attention and to just, you know, keep an eye out. But at this time, Springport, Oakville, Oakville's getting the worst of the hail right now. Springport, you're about to. Still on that boundary. Look at this. This is our boundary right here. Yeah, it's on that outflow boundary. So I would still watch out. But I think what is kind of keeping it from doing more is the rain cooled air. We've had a lot of rain. I think we've had rain today. Yeah. So that could have had something to do with that. But I'm not 100% sure how. The rain's been gone for long enough. So I don't know if that really did have an effect or not. But look at this. So this, I think you could technically call this a long track supercell. Again, that meaning just an isolated storm, not a tornado in this case. Again, most supercells don't produce tornadoes, but those are the storms that typically would. more so than other storm modes. But yeah, it started all the way up towards Walton and Bunker Hill. I went all the way down. Now it's getting ready to be towards Mount Summit. So let's see, Bunker Hill. No, we're gonna start that in Walton. We're gonna go down to Mount Summit. And that inflow is getting more concerning, so we're gonna check that here in a minute. But Walton, and we're going to go all the way down to Mount Summit. So 64 miles. This thing has gone 64 miles so far, and it's probably going to continue for quite a while. Nothing's in the way to stop this storm from continuing. But yeah, this has been a longer track storm. Now our velocity is not showing that strong of rotation, but something I am noticing is that the inflow slot here is opening up just a little bit more. I think it's because it's back on that boundary. I think it was playing catch up. Something very like what's called mesoscale is happening. Yeah, but now I think that the boundary is going directly into the inflow. So things might get a little more intense here in a few minutes. No certainty on it, but our rotation's not really that good, nor is it really good towards Randolph County. So I think our tornado threat may just be done entirely. I mean, the Storm Prediction Center did completely get rid of that, so I think it's safe to assume that possibly that could be what is happening. Although I am looking out over here towards Kokomo. Now, this is well out of the area that I serve, but I mean, that is an interesting look, you know? It's not quite where it's supposed to be, though, so. But some of these storms have suspicious looks at times, but each time it's decently brief. Okay, something I'm noticing here is this storm is starting to change directions. We also have a new flash flood warning that we're going to go over here real soon. Look, it goes kind of shoots down, but then it it's starting to go more east. Or is that just that part of the storm? Yeah, okay, so I'll keep an eye on it. Nothing too crazy. But yes, we have a new flash flood warning for the south eastern part of Delaware County and almost all of Randolph County except for the northeast side. So except for Union City, Saratoga. But yeah, we have a new flash flood warning. So here's the thing. In a flash flood so why was this flash flood warning issued? This flash flood warning was issued because either rain gauges, radar, or satellite indicates precipitation capable of flash flooding, or flash flooding has already been reported. Now, what do we do in a flash flood? We turn around, don't drown when we encounter flooded roadways. You take a little detour, no big deal. If you're stuck in floodwaters, you need to call 911 immediately. If you live in a flood zone, consider evacuation. If the threat gets up to considerable or catastrophic, you must evacuate to high ground. If you're in a flood zone, mobile home, by a river, a creek, a stream, a lake, maybe, that type of thing. So that's kind of the deal right now with that. Now, again, we have that boundary near Mount Summit and Sulphur Springs. It's definitely a supercell kind of shape, but again, supercell does not mean tornado, and this clearly shows an example of why it may not always, or why it usually is not tornadoes. In this case, it's just been a big hailer, and some damaging winds as well, I'm sure. But again, we do have some inflow going into this, so this storm might strengthen, and it is something we do have to kind of keep watching just in case. But if I go to our, like, it's a very small amount of rotation, a very small amount, at least on the low levels. Nowhere near enough to actually produce a tornado. Oh, what's this right here? That's interesting. I don't know what this is. Oh, wait, hold on. This might be the boundary. It may have, the boundary may be on its. Hmm? Okay, this is going to be something worth watching here. This might be changing its storm mode right now. And this up here might be as well. So that's towards um, Indianapolis, and that's away. So that would, right here, I think we need to keep an eye right here just to the south of Farmland, heading in the, I think this would be south of Winchester. Oh yeah, no, that's going to be on the south. That could be on the south side of Winchester. Um, I don't think this will be where the March 14th, 2024 tornado would have hit, but it might be close. We'll have to keep an eye out. There's no tornado warning yet, but there might be here soon. I don't like what that's looking like. And here's the issue with this one. Look at the actual placement of the storm, or where the rotation is in the storm. It is in the middle of rain and hail. You're not going to see this. So let's make that 100% clear. Yeah, but notice how I just kind of did that out of nowhere. Oh, wait, 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 wait. Ooh, okay. So that it's not the most impressive rotation I've seen, but it is more impressive than what I've seen. I think this might be the most impressive rotation I've seen tonight, which again does not say much. This is the Dayton Terminal radar, and it's showing some rotation as well. Going to the Wilmington radar, and it's showing rotation. Going to the Northern Indiana radar, and take a wild guess, it's showing a little bit of rotation. So it is something that is worth keeping an eye on. Same with this storm up here, although not as crazy looking, and it's away from our area. Look at this. Yeah, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Let's see, has anything touched down? No. But something that is kind of concerning me with the bottom storm, this is starting to come out. So is this thing trying to be a full blown, like, you get what I mean? Like, is it really trying to rotate like that? Is there some outflow getting mixed in? Are we? It might be. Okay, yeah, that's starting to get that look just a little bit. Let's go to the velocity mode real quick. It's not showing up yet, but we're gonna need to keep an eye on that. See, this is why you don't say the threat's done. Ooh, okay, hold on. Okay. I think I see what's happening here. The storm mode is changing, so let's, here's one rotation here, and here's another rotation right here. Now let's make sure that they actually locate with this part of the storm that's rotating. This is iffy. I don't know. This here is definitely a yes. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye on this because this actually might this might be interesting. Yeah, and uh, honestly, at this point, I'm almost more worried about Winchester than anything. Okay, the radar's changed again. I think they might be doing every 1 minute now, which would be a good call because I'm seeing what they're seeing. There's definitely rotation, especially with the northern one. There's definitely rotation with the southern one too, but I think the northern one has that stronger rotation with it. Um, oh yeah. Okay. They might issue a tornado warning for this actually, and I'm kind of anticipating it. We're gonna go back to radar full while I do something real quick. But let's see. Okay, that's not where I want it to be. Okay, that's not. Yeah, we don't have any like cameras. Let's see. Trying to see if I can get. Yeah, there's literally no cameras. I think that yeah, this is a camera in Richmond. Um, this is the pickleball court in Richmond. So I guess that's if that's the best we can do, that's the best we can do. Now, looking at the radar, it actually looks like it may have weakened. So again, this is kind of the type of things these storms do. They strengthen, they weaken. I think that's the bottom storm is cycling more than anything, but it's definitely getting more of a shape that I don't like. So we're gonna, it's definitely something worth keeping an eye on. But I do think the Winchester storm is dying now. Like the rotation on that is definitely dying. Um, it picked up real quick, but it died before they could really get a warning on it, which is a good thing, you know. Um, But the bottom storm, I do think we need to watch for numerous things, mainly hail, but also maybe a quick spin up tornado and definitely damaging winds. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't like that. We, I think we might actually, this one might be trying to take over. So look, that's winds going towards Indianapolis. That's winds going away. It's kind of away from where the main, not really. Okay, so yeah, just to the northeast of Newcastle, we might be dealing with something. I'm gonna go back to full radar real quick. Um, I don't think it's gonna connect. I'm trying to see if I can get a Newcastle, Indiana camera to connect, but I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. Um, what we can do is we have this camera near Cambridge City, which is generally where this thing's heading towards. So let's just go ahead and get the double box mode there. See, so we do have a traffic camera that we can look at, and that, of course, it's going to be a while till this potential rotation gets there, but better than nothing, right? Sometimes you just got to take what you can get. But yeah, this thing's starting to get its act together, so we have a new extension of the severe thunderstorm warning. So this is we're going to take away these arrows real quick. Oh, we have a huge extension of the severe thunderstorm warning. And yep, that's good. They got tornado possible. That's what I was hoping for. But this is warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch hail. Actually, let's go ahead and go over this real quick. So, severe thunderstorm warning is issued when you have damaging wind gusts ranging from 58 miles per hour to 69 miles per hour. When they go 58, they round it to 60. Or it's large hail from 1 inch in diameter to 1.5 inches in diameter. Um, and really, you just need to be indoors and away from windows. But in this scenario, I want everybody in mobile homes out, and I want um, everybody to be ready to take cover at because I do think that there might be a tornado warning here very, very shortly. Um, but yeah, we're gonna go over who is in and who is out. Oh man, yeah, and this is Wilmington here. Yep. So they have a special weather statement. I'm a little bit worried about this, y'all. Just keep. But Newcastle, especially the east side of Newcastle, you're in this and you're towards the potentially tornadic part of the storm. Again, no tornado warning yet, but one could be issued shortly. Moreland, you're in. Messick, Hillsborough, Van Nuys, Rogersville, Springport, Summit Lake, Bluntsville. Not a severe thunderstorm warning yet, but will probably be soon. Franklin, Dalton, Hagerstown, Cambridge City, Dublin, Jacksonburg, Hoover Mill, not Jacksonburg in Ohio. Just make sure you understand that. Greens Fork, and then also less. Sorry, that was my phone, and it almost gave me a heart attack. Lowsonville. Ooh, okay. Lowsonville, Modoc, Huntsville, Carlos, Lynn, not to be confused with Huntsville, Ohio, Winchester, not to be confused with Winchester, Ohio, Saratoga, New Pittsburgh, Union City, South Salem, Spartanburg, Crete, and Lynn. So that is the areas that we're going to be dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning in. Looking back at our rotation, it's I think it broadened out a little bit. It almost did it. And that was at this point in the radar, and then it kind of just. But we still got to keep an eye. This thing could still do something crazy. Yeah, it died again, so that's good news. But we do have, that's kind of that looks way more like contamination. I'm gonna go ahead and open Studio again. Let's see how the stream's been doing. I really, really, really like to see that this stream's doing better, or at least better than the last one we had. Um, okay, not bad, not bad. Oh yeah, we actually have. Yeah, okay. So again, we have a potential rotation here for like between Newcastle and Millville. It has weakened, but it strengthened real fast and weakened. And I think it could strengthen again. Basically, this storm is having a battle with its own outflow boundary, which its outflow boundary is right here. But it's kind of like this. But if the outflow and inflow can push just a little more like this, we could get a quick tornado. And I'm keeping an eye on that. We also have flash flood warnings that are being issued for numerous parts of the area. Unfortunately, after we've already dealt with a catastrophic flash flooding situation, there also might be a rotation right over here near Winchester. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, looking at our wind mode. Yeah, it does add up just a little bit, not terribly, but it's something worth keeping an eye on. But we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Fayette and most of Wayne County in Indiana. Again, this is going to be kind of the same deal that we were dealing with. Um, a severe thunderstorm warning is issued when damaging wind gusts ranging from 58 to 69 miles per hour is likely, and large hail damage or large hail ranging from 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter is likely as well. So we have this new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued, and I don't like what this storm's looking like right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I wish there was a traffic camera that could actually see what. But this, we're gonna be looking into this storm very soon. So actually, that's good that we're on this double box mode, and we need to stay on this double box mode. But let me see if I can find a Richmond. Okay, hold on. No, 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 not AI, not AI. Trying to look for groups. All right. Speak Out Richmond, public group. So right now I'm trying to get the message out to as many places as possible. All right, now I'm gonna go back here real quick. Okay, it's trying again. Um, Millville, New Richmond. These are the areas I'm worried about most when it comes to this. Let's see. Is our rotation start? Oh goodness. Yep, it's coming back. It's definitely coming back. Right over Millville right now. I wouldn't be surprised if National Weather Service and Indianapolis did issue a tornado warning with this here soon. Um, Again, this is our winds going towards Indianapolis and away, and it is you can just see the rotation. I mean that's not good. I'm really worried about Hagerstown, Millville, New Libsyn, Dublin, and Cambridge City. And Cambridge City, they've already been through a number. Um, it's not good, but it's not anything you can't get through. Yeah, oh, that's trying. I don't know if this one's gonna last long either. I have a feeling it won't, but still, it's kind of right on the edge of them needing to issue a tornado warning, and then it would weaken. So it's been doing this thing to where it gets so close, and then it weakens, so close, and it weakens, and we can hope that it keeps weakening. But I really, really do think anybody in Millville, I mean, it's about to pass Millville, but Hagerstown, Cambridge City, Dublin, East Germantown, Milton, New Libsyn, Strawn, you might be good, but otherwise, yeah, Greens Fork, Centerville, you may want to go ahead and yeah, see it's starting to weaken, but be out of mobile homes. It's getting to that point, and I'm not trying to say anything to scare anybody, but it just keeps trying. It's just fighting this outflow boundary. Um, but my goodness, my eye is on Cambridge City right now. And the camera is acting up. What do you know? Okay, what we might do when this thing gets close. Ooh, whoa, whoa, what's that? What's that? Okay, never mind. Whew, that scared me for a second. I thought I saw something really bad, but no, I didn't. Um, okay, it's starting to look a little more consistent. Like it's not consistently strong, but it's like wavering less and less, and it's remaining decent. So I'd say that when it was north of Millville, that was about as close as we got for it producing a tornado. Then it got kind of close again over Millville. Now it's kind of weakening again. Okay, another thing I'm noticing is kind of starting to look like a donut almost. That's an updraft. And but that's not lining up with that, so maybe that's nothing. Yeah, look. Okay, I see what's happening. So there's a new so hold on. Let me go over this. Educational moments with me. So let's go back to when this thing was yeah, this was about when this thing was starting to look more concerning. So we'll go one more in here. This was your inflow, this was your outflow. Pretty obvious. Okay, so we X that out. Now this is trying to be the new inflow. This is trying to be the new outflow. So that's going to do that. And then there'll probably be a new area around here, or not exactly, but you get the point. It's just going to keep doing that. I'm starting to get it now. And this is kind of the new area that will be. Um, hold on. Oh, hey, I know who this is. Okay. Hi, I'm doing severe weather coverage because I can't chase right now. Um, yeah, basically I got hold on, I'm gonna go to radar full, and then after that I'm gonna try to make sure I'm on a good camera that's gonna actually see this. New Libsyn. Yeah, that's gonna be exactly where this thing. We might want to look at this a little bit more to the, yeah, like right here. That's probably gonna be our best bet. Um, sorry, I'm trying to find a good camera right now to look at this from. In other words, virtual chasing. That's basically what I call that. Keep the weather warnings up. That makes it easier. And there we go. Why is that looking east? No, no, don't look east. Okay. All right. This thing's acting up again. Hold on. I know you're just seeing my mouse just moving. Um, and it looks like I'm just clicking on random parts on the radar. No, I'm just trying. I'm on a whole other screen trying to find a good camera. Directions. Okay, this might actually be the best camera. Okay, so we're gonna go back to double box. This is our new camera right now. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I definitely do wish I was chasing it, but it's nighttime, so it's not gonna be the lightning. That's what you want. I know you, and I know that's exactly what you want. You want the lightning from it. Okay, hold on. Let me get back to the radar real quick. So there may be a bit of new rotation here. Basically, these things have almost got to the point where they needed a warning and then not. And basically what I'm starting to notice is there's going to be new inflows, and it tries to create new hooks, new everything. So then there's going to be this, and then when that's done, something out here is going to happen, and then you get the point. Um, okay, so they don't have tornado possible yet, so that's another good sign. Wilmington, they're really good with this. They're really good with not overwarning. And I know a lot of people may argue that they're underwarning, but those type of storms we dealt with the other day are a whole different animal. A lot of those are not actually, you can have quick tornadoes that are not detectable on radar when you have squall lines like what happened a couple days ago move through. This is a whole different ball game we're dealing with. This is something that's going to be a lot easier to see and actually is less successful at producing tornadoes. We have not had one tornado warning with this. But I am noticing little areas of inflow, and Kempton, Indiana has some rotation too. I believe that's the one up north. Yeah, this isn't in the real in the viewing area, but I am keeping an eye on this because this might eventually get down, probably to about this region. But by then I might need to be in bed, and by then the storm might be weak. I literally have a final tomorrow, and this is what I do with my time. But I mean, who else gonna do this? Actually, wait, every news station ever. Man, but see that it had. right here was when it was over Millville, I was concerned. Then just to the northeast of Newcastle. But see, you can literally see it had the perfect little inflow slot right here. I mean, it was nearly perfect. So there's your inflow, there's your outflow. So then that goes away. And then a whole new inflow. New inflow slot. Wait, hold on. Let me, yeah. New outflow right there. And that ends. So really, I'm looking for something here, or maybe just something like here. So again, and it may not even happen. It may be done. Who knows? And hopefully it is, so I can go to bed. But don't worry, I'll stay here as long as I need to. Yeah, right now, okay. Now it looks like this whole thing is kind of trying to be the inflow, which means it's got some work to do, but it's going to be somewhere in here by Cambridge City, which means seeing that camera up there, why does the video stop? I did not want that video to stop. I literally have both tabs open for that said reason, but it means it's going to pass the highway by the time it does that, so there goes our chance of getting a view of this thing. Failing as a broadcaster once again. Um, yeah, but I mean, it's not doing much right now. Man, my eyes look crazy. See, I have a screen across that I'm looking at this stream from, just to make sure it's working right on the other end. And my eyes look crazy. So sorry if I'm freaking any y'all out with that. Okay, let's see. Okay, up to 12 views. We're getting better. We're getting better. I'm not gonna end the stream yet. Um, I'm gonna have to get something started eventually, to where I can have somebody else do this if I'm chasing, because I do chase, and I don't plan on stopping, but I do want to continue doing coverages like this because I think it can be helpful, more specifically for our Appalachia area down here. So while this is kind of at a low point, I can go over this. So my college is here. I know it's not in the crazy tornado land that's this area, but we do have a lot of bad flash floods and sometimes tornadoes, and we start to get in that crazy tornado land um, in our far western counties. And while yes, Columbus news stations cover, and yes, Huntington stations do too, and even Parkersburg has like a station. I do think we could use a little bit more. I feel like we could cover this area just a little bit better. More specifically, this kind of region, or more into Kentucky too. Now, I would still probably find a way to cover for this area too, but and we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that we're going to have to go over here very shortly. But I want to set up something through my college, maybe rather it's a club or something. So you're solving two problems: broadcast people not getting enough practice. Oh no, they just updated this severe thunderstorm warning. But yeah, people not getting enough practice, or people having more opportunities, and people having more coverage. But it's just an idea right now. I would really, really like to get that set up. Is that rotation over near Millville again? I'm gonna keep my eye on it, but what we might do, I might take a quick break, and I will return. I'd say it'd be about 5 minutes or so. And if things are kind of more dying down, because if it's just 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter size hail, I think it would be a safe bet to go ahead and end the stream there until something more crazy happens. Which again, I will be checking. I don't want to be on here if it's not necessary, you know. Um, but I think what I'm. Ooh, hold on. So again, we'll see. Meaning that it may not be done yet. But I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and pause for just a minute, and then I will be back. And whatever is happening, rather, if it's calming down, then I can go ahead and get off of here. And if it's not, then we can get back to what I was doing. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. Hey, so I got good news, y'all. All of our severe weather warnings have been allowed to expire, except for the flash flood warnings, of course. But at this point, I think it is a good idea if I go ahead and call it a stream. Yeah, hold on, will be allowed to expire. So our severe limits are done for, which means we're going to be just fine. We do have this other severe storm that could head into the area later, which I may or may not be able to cover. Now, if it's like a tornado warning or something, I will try to be on the stream. But as of now, we have flash flood warnings for areas like Winchester and areas just to the north and east of Muncie, parts of Muncie, also places like Royerton and Eaton, Indiana, as well as parts of southeastern Ohio like MacArthur and areas to the south of Jackson, Oak Hill, Stockdale. But at this point, any actual severe weather warnings have been allowed to expire. So I think it is a good time to I think it is a good time to go ahead and call it a stream. And I'm gonna see y'all later. Stay safe out there and keep everybody in eastern Indiana, eastern and central Ohio, and southwestern Ohio. Really, the whole bag here, even parts of northern Kentucky. Keep everybody in your thoughts right now, and I will see y'all later.